So today I got a nice surprise watching the CD Projekt Red live stream that they dropped the 1.6 update. So in this video today, I wanted to go over what they changed and added to Cyberpunk. One thing I will say about this update that made me really happy is that this feels like it was purely for the players, people who love this game. There's a lot of changes here that were made that just make the grind of this game a lot better, make the RPG element, the roleplay side of it a lot better. I'm a really big fan of this update so far, and definitely looking forward to other things that they announced, such as the DLC coming in 2023 and some other things that I'll dive into a little later. Now let's start off with one of the things that I think is a big highlight, which is they added a total of 11 new weapons. One thing that they mentioned about these weapons in the live stream was that they wanted them to be unique and interesting to this world and not really just feel like, you know, an AK-47 reskin or something like that. They wanted to feel for this world, and I think they did an amazing job with it. First off, we have Kappa. It's a smart pistol. Honestly, nothing special here. It's just like any other average smart pistol. Locks onto enemies, has a decently high rate of fire, and is nice to just have another one of these in the mix. Next, one of my favorites in this list is the Senko LX. It's a tech submachine gun that when you're just tapping the trigger, it does a very quick burst, and it's a lot of fun to use. However, just like any other tech gun, you hold down the trigger and it goes into a full automatic mode and starts shooting through walls. This thing is a blast to use, and I highly recommend trying it out. Next, we have the Hypercritical Iconic Precision Rifle. That's a mouthful. You get this from completing one of the new gigs that they added, and this thing packs a punch. My character in this instance doesn't have the body requirement for the gun, so I think the recoil is a little out of control here, but it does crazy amounts of damage. A very fun gun to use, nice size clip, a good addition to the game. Next, the VST-37 Power Shotgun. This is a fully automatic shotgun. Hold down the trigger and just start blasting. I like that they're kind of filling these gaps with the guns, so I think this was very needed. The MA-70HB Light Machine Gun. I like seeing this because I think the light machine gun meta or use case are very low. So for them to add more means that they're trying to give people more reasons to pick them up and play around with them. I don't know if this is exactly like the coolest gun in the world, but it was definitely a lot of fun to run around with and, you know, abuse ricochet here and there. Now, my personal favorite that they added to this game, Kyubi Power Assault Rifle. What makes this gun different is it is a semi-automatic assault rifle. This is something I've wanted in this game forever. The ability to have a nice assault rifle that could one-shot dudes stealthily, that didn't have to be a sniper. And so I ended up with pistols previously. However, now with this, I'm definitely going to be using this a lot more. Moving on to melee weapons, we got two new knives. These are the Neurotoxin knife and the Punk knife. Both of these have iconic variations. I have not been able to find these iconic versions yet, but I will continue to search for them and hopefully find them in the future. The Claw is a new axe variant. It's what you'd expect it to be. It's an axe. Razor, I like seeing this because I wanted more variation in the melee weapon category when it comes to blades, and I think that this is that. And last, my favorite melee weapon they added, the Cutomatic Chainsword. This thing is literally a handheld chainsaw, and it's a blast to use. I mean, let's be real, it's a video game. How could you not want a handheld chainsaw? Moving away from weapons, they also decided to add 3 new gigs and 1 main mission. Now, since this update is the Edgerunner update that is kind of themed after the anime that's coming to Netflix here in a week or so, the main quest that they added does kind of play into this and give a little bit of background and maybe lore into characters that are going to be in the show, which is a really cool thing for them to do. You also get a really cool action scene from the anime that's coming up that I would highly recommend checking out for yourself if you haven't. Now, I'm not going to spoil any of these missions in any way, so I'm just going to show you quickly on the map where they're kind of located, and you can check them out for yourself. One of these does drop that iconic gun that I showed off a little earlier. Completing this main mission does give you the jacket from the show, and apparently they added a shotgun from the show, but I have not been able to find where it is or how to find it, so I'm going to have to keep looking, but I wanted to get this video turned around for you guys so you knew what was ahead. Like I said earlier, this update feels like a community-driven thing, so I'm going to quickly highlight the things that I feel like we've kind of wanted as players for a while that they finally added. The first of those being full character customization, as in their actual face structure and all that stuff. Previously, all we could do was change hair, maybe makeup, stuff like that, but now you have full control to re-customize your character in any way you see fit. They also added playable arcade machines, so now you can play the game Roach Race. If you do get a decent enough score, the game dev will reach out to you and apparently give you gifts and things like that. I didn't quite reach that high yet. I will do that in the future. And lastly, they added the wardrobe system. So now you have a total of 6 slots where you can create outfits for your character that does not affect the stats of your character. So you can change your armor around, get the best stats that you want, and then go to the wardrobe and make your character look the way that you want. I think this is great for the roleplay side of RPGs. I think that this helps players really create their own experience and enjoy the game. Now, there's a lot of balancing and patching and stuff that I'm not really going to go into, so I am going to link down below the full list of updates and changes and things like that down in my description. But there is a couple things I did want to highlight. One of them is that in the perk tree under the cool, they did add 2 new perks in the ninjutsu skill tree that help with poison and making poison a more viable sort of option, which I think was a good idea. Another thing that they changed was they enhanced the 5.0 sniper rifle. Before, it had the iconic line of text that it just released an explosive shot, whereas now that explosion is a lot larger. It feels like you're holding a handheld cannon, and honestly, when it comes to games like this, I'm so happy that they did this. And the last thing I want to highlight that they talked about at the end of the stream is that they are giving full mod support for modders, giving them access to tools and the engine to create their own stuff. I think that this is exactly what this game needed. I'm really excited to see what the modding community is going to do in the future with these tools and what interesting things we're going to see. Anyways, that's pretty much everything I wanted to highlight from the live stream and this new update. What do you guys think of the new update? Are you excited about it, or are you a little bummed that we didn't get the DLC yet? I know that the DLC is a ways off, but they did finally announce it, which is really cool to see. I'd love to chat with you guys and see what you guys think about the 1.6 update and sort of the modding situation, all that stuff in the comments below. Also, if you aren't subscribed and would like to, I would really appreciate any support you'd be willing to show. YouTube has always kind of been a dream of mine, and I'm excited to continue to create content to educate and also entertain you guys. Anyways, that's going to do it for this video, guys. I'll catch you in the next one.